Brad, you must be thrilled with the response after a lot of scrutiny during the
Yeah, it was really good way to start the game. Really combative and aggressive and hard at the ball style tonight. And I thought the tone was set from pretty early on from our perspective. But Collingwood have been playing some really good footy. Statistically, their last month's just about as good as anyone's. And they've beaten some pretty good teams, or GWS have been going really well and pushed Adelaide in Adelaide last weekend. So we knew it was going to be a tough battle, and we certainly got that.
How close was Daniel Wells to not playing, and what a response?
Yeah. It was very late, the decision for him to play. And he just couldn't have responded any better. So, we threw him straight in there from the first bounce, and we thought Greenwood would probably go to him. He knows him pretty well. So, but Wellsy's response was just sublime.
What was the issue actually before?
He had a bit of an upper back sort of issue, which is not an issue in and of itself, but it was impacting his breathing. So until we could free that up, we just weren't confident that he'd be able to work as hard as he needed to work if the breathing issue persisted. But our doctors and physios did a lot of work on him, and in the end he was confident, and so we pulled the trigger.
How do you explain him playing so well, given he's so close to not playing?
Oh, he just made, I think, the conscious decision that if he was going to declare himself fit, because ultimately, I mean, the medicos didn't think there was any risk to him, so it was a matter of whether he could get through with it. So once he declared himself fit, he was determined to get out there and do the job, and it just speaks again to the character of Daniel Wells.
Brad, are you going to persist with match at the door? Because he does something spectacular to take that mark, but then he'll drop a simple one. It can be frustrating to watch, but do you think you'll persist with him going forward?
Oh, absolutely. We've invested a lot in Madge, and Madge has invested a lot in hard work. Probably have to do a little bit of work on the 10-metre protected area, a few other things. But he's going to drop marks. But, I mean, I only saw it live. I didn't watch the replay, but that was almost the best mark I've ever seen. So he can do incredible things, and we'll just keep working with him. We've got confidence in him.
Going in tandem with goal today?
Pretty well. Again, I didn't think we dominated that area. I thought Brodie Grundy actually did pretty well and competed really hard. But that was a step in the right direction.
How happy with Drew Petrie's first half? What does that do for his hopes of trying to play on next season?
Oh, it's too far into the future. I mean, Drew and I have done a lot of work on just staying really focused in the present, and that's really difficult. You know, we both acknowledge that at times we're thinking about 2017 where he's concerned, but no, we just got to keep it a week by week focus for Drew. And I thought his effort and his pressure tonight was just outstanding. He really led the way in the forward half in terms of pressure.
How happy were you with some of the younger brigade like Clark and Dumont tonight? Because a lot of the external criticism has been about maybe the ageing demographic of the list, but they were impressive tonight.
Yeah, they were terrific, particularly late when it mattered. Ryan Clark. Yeah, I can't think of too many players who have come in and I think had over 70 possessions in their first 3 games. He's a really hard-working player. He's a player who we watch play school footy, Vic Metro footy, in the VFL. He plays the same way regardless of the level and regardless of the opposition. So, we've been really pleased with him, and I think he's one of the brightest young players in the competition. You know, he's got a great future in front of him. Dumont again, been really solid and stood up when it mattered.
Looked like you went, the guys were pretty hard running early. Was that premeditated?
Yeah, I think the guys are just. It's nothing to do with Brodie Grundy. I think it's just more to do with supporting one of their own in Todd Goldstein.
Do you feel like you've turned a corner tonight, Brad?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, I think that the way that we approached the game was really pleasing. But I think that for me the most pleasing thing is that we're all human. The players know that we've lost a few in a row, and it's really hard not to think, gee, we've just got to find a way to win this, rather than staying focused on the task at hand. But I was really pleased that they were able to focus and stay task focused and get the job done, because I think they all would have been. I could have forgiven them for thinking too far ahead and just panicking under pressure, because Collingwood certainly came at us. They put us under pressure, but I think we weathered that storm really well and then prevailed.
Are you relieved at all that this perhaps allows this week, Boots 427th game, to be celebrated in a good light rather than having a six-stroke losses hanging over your head?
I think that it's going to be pretty hard to take the focus away from 427 games. And that's a great thing. It's an unbelievable thing, not just for Boomer and not just for North Melbourne, but for people who, I think that are probably going to witness a record that may never be broken ever again. So these are one of the moments in sport that you just think, gee, I'm glad I was there to witness that.
Right, how impressed are you with Thomas's ability to deal with adversity? I mean, he hasn't had the easiest year off the field to some degree, but 31 goals, he's kicked 5 tonight, which on the scoreboard is basically the difference.
Oh, he's a star, Lindsay, in terms of where he's come from, where he's been, and now to the person he is. Just an absolute credit to himself and to his family, and we're just wrapped to have him at North Melbourne. He's the way he spoke at half time, directed the players, and then went out and backed it up himself. To kick 5 goals too, and really win first possession on a number of occasions. Just absolutely fantastic.
What did you say at half time?
Just the direction to the other forwards in front of the whole group. I mean, this is when I first met Lindsay, I couldn't get 2 words out of him, and now he's holding court in meetings. He really is an inspiration to a lot of people.
Robbie Tarrant certainly holding court down back when. How good is he been?
Yeah, it's hard to think of a poor game he's played this year. He's just been rock solid, and it's just been great that he's been able to get a clear run with injury, because really that's been the only thing that's held him back over previous years.
You've talked about 12 wins all year, Brad. One away. You've made the 8 yet?
No, the 12 wins is still our goal. It's still our short-term focus. So, we're one step closer, and we get an opportunity to ice it next week.
Do you get Jared Waite back? I think you said he was hopeful for a game playing next week.
Do you have a vision of that? Hopefully. But I mean, we thought he was right last week. He got through the game okay, but pulled up a little bit sore. But again, like a few of our other guys, we're just going to make sure he's 100%. So he'll be a chance, but I wouldn't say it's definite.
What exactly is the nature of it that it keeps flaring back up?
I don't know. I get as frustrated as he does. Probably our guys thought it was fairly minor initially, but it's just hung around. But he can function okay. But it's just we want to make sure that he's going to be with us for the rest of the season. So as soon as it gets a bit sore, we just back him off. So that's what we did this week.
Thanks, Sue.
Thank you. Cheers.